Welcome to American Presidential History. Dive into the captivating world of U.S. presidents through engaging stories that bring their lives, legacies, and the times they lived in vividly to life.
James Garfield, the 20th President of the United States, served in office for a brief 6.5 months, from March 4, 1881 until his unfortunate assassination on September 19, 1881. He was shot by Charles J. Guiteau. Garfield distinguished himself as a Union Army general during the American Civil War. He displayed a fervent commitment to civil rights, actively fighting against segregation. Garfield dedicated 18 years of service to the U.S. House of Representatives before assuming the presidency. Garfield exhibited strong advocacy for education reform and supported open immigration policies. Garfield held the distinction of being the last president to be born in a log cabin. To honor his memory, the USS Garfield, a United States Navy ship, was named after him. Additionally, the James Garfield Memorial Library was established in his honor, ensuring his legacy. James Garfield, The Assassination That Shattered a Nation.
Rutherford B. Hayes, the 19th President of the United States, 1877 to 1881. Hayes served as a Union Army officer during the American Civil War. The election of 1876 between Hayes and Democrat Samuel J. Tilden was one of the most disputed elections in U.S. history. The election results were complicated by allegations of voter fraud, violence, and voter suppression, particularly in the southern states. As part of the Compromise of 1877, which resolved the election dispute, Hayes agreed to withdraw federal troops from the southern states, effectively ending Reconstruction and allowing Southern Democrats to regain control. He signed the Bland-Allison Act, which provided for the coinage of silver, and vetoed the Chinese Exclusion Act, restricting Chinese immigration. He was an advocate for Native American rights and pushed for reforms in Indian policy during his presidency. Rutherford B. Hayes was the first president to use a telephone while in office. Rutherford B. Hayes, the controversial election.
Ulysses S. Grant, the 18th President of the United States, 1869 to 1877, graduated from the United States Military Academy at West Point in 1843 and served as a career military officer before entering politics. During the American Civil War, Grant rose to prominence as a Union general known for his leadership and strategic victories. He played a crucial role in the Union's victory over the Confederate States of America. Grant's most notable military achievement was his successful campaign to capture Vicksburg, Mississippi, in 1863. After the war, Grant served as commanding general of the United States Army. Grant's presidency was marked by efforts to reconstruct the South and protect the civil rights of newly freed slaves. He also supported the enforcement of voting rights for African Americans and signed the Enforcement Acts. He established the Yellowstone National Park as the first national park in the United States in 1872. Ulysses S. Grant, from Civil War general to commander-in-chief.
Andrew Johnson, the 17th President of the United States. Born in 1808 North Carolina, Johnson served as president from 1865 to 1869. Johnson became president after the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. He granted amnesty and pardons to many former Confederates, which drew criticism and accusations of being sympathetic to the Southern cause. Johnson favored a lenient approach to Reconstruction, which clashed with the Republican Congress, who sought harsher punishments for the South. Johnson vetoed the Civil Rights Act of 1866, but Congress overrode his veto, marking the first time that a presidential veto was overridden. Johnson was responsible for the purchase of Alaska from Russia in 1867, known as Seward's Folly. He was the first U.S. president to be impeached. The impeachment trial occurred in 1868. Although Johnson was not removed from office, his impeachment left a lasting impact during a difficult period in the aftermath of the Civil War. Andrew Johnson, the impeachment trial.
Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States from 1861 to 1865. He was the first Republican president in U.S. history. Lincoln's presidency was dominated by the American Civil War, which began in 1861. Lincoln led the Union, composed of the northern states, against the secessionist Confederacy. Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1862, declaring that all enslaved individuals in Confederate-held territory were to be set free. He delivered the Gettysburg Address in 1863. He advocated for voting rights for African Americans and pushed for the passage of the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery. Despite the ongoing war, Lincoln ran for re-election in 1864 and won a second term. Abraham Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War preserved the Union, ended slavery, and shaped civil rights in the United States. However, on April 14, 1865, his legacy was tragically cut short by his assassination. Abraham Lincoln, The Fight for Freedom, Civil War Era.
James Buchanan, the 15th President of the United States. He served as President from 1857 to 1861. Born in Pennsylvania, 1791, Buchanan had a long and distinguished political career, serving as a U.S. Representative, U.S. Senator, Secretary of State, and Minister to the United Kingdom. Buchanan's presidency was marked by economic turmoil, including a severe financial crisis known as the Panic of 1857. The crisis led to widespread unemployment, with workers experiencing wage reductions or losing their jobs altogether. Many businesses faced bankruptcies, resulting in job losses and economic hardships. Buchanan confronted tensions with the Mormons in Utah, leading to the controversial Utah War. Buchanan struggled to prevent the secession of southern states, and his presidency witnessed the secession of several states, ultimately leading to the breakup of North and South. Buchanan's presidency is often viewed as one of the least successful in American history. James Buchanan, the Forgotten President.
Franklin Pierce, the 14th President of the United States, held office from 1853 to 1857. Born in 1804 in New Hampshire, Pierce served as a brigadier general in the Mexican-American War. Pierce fought in the war and was praised for his bravery and leadership. Under Pierce's administration, the United States acquired land from Mexico known as the Gadsden Purchase, which aimed to facilitate the construction of a transcontinental railroad. Pierce's presidency witnessed the highly controversial Dred Scott decision by the Supreme Court, which deepened the divisions over slavery. Pierce signed the Kansas-Nebraska Act in 1854, which allowed for popular sovereignty in determining the status of slavery in the territories. Pierce's presidency is often viewed as one marked by the issue of slavery, ultimately leading to the outbreak of the American Civil War. After leaving office, Pierce retired from politics and returned to his law practice in New Hampshire. Franklin Pierce, the Gadsden Purchase.
Millard Fillmore, the 13th President of the United States. Born in New York in 1800, he served as president from 1850 to 1853. Fillmore played a crucial role in brokering the Compromise of 1850, which maintained the balance between free and slave states, lowering tensions between the North and South. While controversial, Fillmore actively enforced the Fugitive Slave Act, which aimed to capture and return escaped slaves to their owners. Fillmore supported the establishment of public schools, helping to promote accessible education for all. He opened diplomatic relations with Japan through the Treaty of Kanagawa. The Whig Party faced internal divisions and eventual dissolution in 1856 due to the passage of the Kansas-Nebraska Act in 1854. This controversial act permitted the expansion of slavery in the territories and created significant rifts within the party. Despite its relatively brief existence, the Whig Party exerted a profound influence on American politics. Millard Fillmore, the last Whig.
Zachary Taylor, the 12th President of the United States. Born in Virginia in 1784, his presidency, which lasted from 1849 until his untimely death in 1850, it was his remarkable military record that caught the attention of the American people. Taylor rose through the ranks and became known for his leadership and bravery on the battlefield. Taylor pursued policies aimed at maintaining peace with Native American tribes and preserving their rights, promoting a more humane approach compared to previous administrations. Taylor supported California's admission to the Union as a free state, which contributed to the balance of power between free and slave states. Taylor's presidency brought a significant influx of settlers and economic growth to the region. Zachary Taylor's military legacy left an indelible mark on American history. His bravery, leadership, and dedication to duty serve as a reminder of the qualities we value in our leaders. Zachary Taylor, From Battlefield to Oval Office.
James K. Polk, the 11th President of the United States. Born in North Carolina in 1795, Polk had a strong focus for the country during his presidency from 1845 to 1849. He was known for his commitment to expanding the country's territory and securing its interests. Polk advocated for the Walker Tariff, which reduced import duties and promoted free trade, stimulating economic growth. President Polk successfully negotiated the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which ended the Mexican-American War and secured vast territories, including California, New Mexico, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and parts of Colorado and Wyoming, greatly expanding the United States. Polk negotiated the Oregon Treaty with Great Britain. The treaty established the 49th parallel as the border between the two nations, securing the majority of the Oregon Territory for the United States. Polk prioritized the modernization and expansion of the U.S. Navy. Polk's presidency coincided with the California Gold Rush. James K. Polk, Shaping a Nation.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe now at American Presidential History. Stay updated with the latest videos. Follow at American Presidential History for more content and shorts. Like, share, and support the channel's growth. Subscribe now. www.youtube.com, American Presidential History.